Okay, let's jump right in. We are surrounded by text all day, every day, on our phones, on websites, you name it. But have you ever stopped to think about how computers actually handle it? Well, today we're prying open the secret toolkit that Python gives us to really master one of the most common data types out there, the string.
So first, let's frame the problem. Why is real-world text such a mess? I mean, think about it. When you're filling out a form online, are you always super careful about capitalization? Or do you ever hit the spacebar one too many times by accident? Right. Now imagine that times millions of users. Or think about data you've pulled from different websites or just raw server logs. It's usually this chaotic jumble of different cases, extra spaces, and all sorts of inconsistent formatting.
And here's that challenge in a nutshell. On the left, you've got your typical messy string. You see the extra spaces, the weird mix of upper and lowercase. On the right, that's the goal. Clean, standardized, and ready to use. Now that gap between them looks pretty big, doesn't it? But what if I told you that getting from A to B is actually way easier than you think using just a few tools we're about to unpack?
See, here's the big secret. You don't have to build all this stuff from scratch. Every single string in Python is what's called an object, and it comes with this powerful built-in toolkit of what we call methods. The best way to think about it is like a Swiss Army knife for text. You don't need to have every single tool memorized, but knowing which one to pull out for the right job, whether it's cleaning, checking, or completely changing it, that's the real game changer.
Okay, so let's pop open the first drawer of our toolkit. These are what I like to call the cleaning and polishing tools. Their whole job is to change the look and feel of a string. Fix the capitalization, get rid of junk around the edges, without actually changing the core message.
The very first tool you'll probably reach for, like 90% of the time, is .strip. All that annoying, invisible white space at the beginning and end of your text, it's a super common problem. But one simple call to .strip, and poof, it's all gone. This is exactly what we'd use on that messy John Smith string to get rid of those extra spaces. And hey, pro tip, if you only want to clean up one side, you've also got .lstrip for the left and .rstrip for the right.
Next up, getting case under control. You have to remember that computers are extremely literal. To a computer, Python with a big P and Python with a little p are two completely different things. They're not the same, period. So methods like .lower and .upper are absolutely essential. They let you standardize everything so you can do reliable comparisons without worrying about case.
Now these next two, capitalize and title, they kind of look like twins, but they have totally different jobs. Capitalize is for sentences. See how it only makes the very first letter of the whole string uppercase? But title, like the name implies, is for titles. It capitalizes the first letter of every single word. It's a subtle difference, but it's crucial for getting that perfect formatting.
Let's shift gears and move to our next set of tools. So we've cleaned up the appearance, but what if we need to ask questions about the string's content? Well, for that, we need our measurement and sensor tools. These methods don't change a thing about your string, they just give you a straightforward true or false answer.
And that's the most important thing to remember about this next bunch of tools. Unlike the ones we just saw, this group is purely for inspection. They're like your data validators, checking if a string meets certain rules before you try to do anything else with it.
Just take a look here. This is a quick snapshot of some of the most useful is methods. So let's say you need to check if a user's input for their zip code is only numbers. .isDigit gives you that quick yes or no. Or maybe you want to make sure a name only contains letters. .alphabetica has your back. Is it all lowercase? .isLower. Is it literally just an empty space? .isSpace. These are so useful for writing code that doesn't break when it gets weird input.
Okay, so we can clean and we can inspect. Now it's time to actually get in there and edit. The next drawer in our toolkit holds the search and edit tools. These are for when you need to find a specific bit of text inside a string and, if you want, swap it out for something new.
The absolute workhorse of this category is the .replace method. I mean, the definition is simple, but don't let that fool you. This thing is a beast. It just zips through your whole string, finds every single time a piece of text shows up, and swaps it out for whatever you tell it to. Here's a super simple example of how that works. We take the string I like cats, we call .replace, and we just tell it find cats and swap it with dogs. The result is a brand new string with that change made. This is amazing for fixing typos, standardizing terms across a huge document, or even blanking out sensitive info. Oh, and a quick shout out to two other really handy search tools, .starts with and .ends with. They do exactly what you'd think.
They let you check really quickly if a string begins or ends with a specific pattern. Perfect for checking if a file name ends in .pdf or if a web address starts with HTTPS. Super simple, and you'll find you use them all the time.
All right, our last category of tools, and honestly, this might be the most transformative of them all. These are the deconstruction and assembly tools. They let us break one single string into a bunch of pieces, or do the reverse. Take a bunch of pieces and build them into a single string. Let's start with something you've probably seen a million times. You get data that looks just like this. It's one string, but it's obviously meant to be multiple items, all separated by a comma. So the question is, how do we get those individual colors out of there? The answer is the .split method. You just tell it what character to use as the separator, the delimiter, which in this case is a comma. And boom! It just shatters that string into a list of separate items. In one single move, you've gone from a flat piece of text to structured data that you can actually work with.
And if split is the deconstruction tool, then join is your assembly kit. It does the exact opposite. You give it a list of strings, and it merges them all into one using whatever connector you want. Here, we're joining our list of colors back together, but this time with a pipe symbol between them.
Okay, we've looked at all the individual tools in our kit. Now for the real power move. The magic happens when you realize you don't have to use these one at a time. You can actually chain them together into one clean, elegant pipeline.
So let's just watch this transformation happen. We start with our messy string. First, we call .strip to get rid of that white space on the ends. Then, the result of that immediately gets passed to .lower to fix the casing. And then the result of that is passed straight into .title to get our final perfectly formatted string. Each step feeds right into the next. So all those steps we just walked through, they can be written in a single readable line of code, just one. That right there is the power of chaining. It's efficient, it's clean, and honestly, it's the sign of someone who really gets how to use their toolkit.
So look, the main thing to take away from all this is simple. You do not need to memorize every single string method out there. That's not the goal. True mastery comes from just understanding the categories of tools you have. If you know you've got tools for cleaning, for inspecting, for editing, and for restructuring, well then finding the exact one you need is the easy part.
And that really brings us to the end. We've opened up the toolkit and seen all the power that's packed inside. The tools themselves are pretty simple, but when you start combining them, you can clean up the absolute messiest data and unlock the information that's hidden inside any text. So the real question is for you. Now that you have the toolkit, what will you build with it? What will you clean? Or what will you analyze?